Elm Logistics. For all your logistic needs, call 631-299-3595. That's 631-299-3595. Elm Global Logistics. Pride, performance, and partnerships.
Quick, we're on the clock here. I'm going to play this video. Why don't you get you an idea what you thought about this?
In the ring, tensions boil over, crossing lines into unexpected violence.
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a little.
Oh, you don't sell it?
What's that?
You don't sell it?
Dude, he's not a fucking worker, bro. No, we're good. I know you will.
No.
We're good. We're good.
I will
Sorry
fuck him up, bro.
I know you will.
I don't play that shit.
Sorry about that, bro.
Hello?
Double leg that motherfucker and start welding him. I just saw the video.
Shit pissed me off though, Andre.
I understand that, but now they can't wake the nigga up. He's fucking in the ring, fucking flatline, bro.
My bad.
Didn't have to do all that shit.
So that's a hot subject in wrestling right now, Jimmy. We'll cover more on this on Thursday at 9 o'clock. But what are your thoughts about that? I know you weren't really – I don't know how far you looked into this, but it looked like a work that the guy just, I don't know, just change. I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking. What are your thoughts?
Why is it all being filmed? Why was the conversation afterwards filmed in the first place?
So that is a total question. I agree with. From what I understand, and we'll dive deep into it on Thursday. But from what I understand, the promoter's asking all the wrestlers not to talk about Rajah Jackson. Okay, that's the culprit that took on this other individual.
Right. Well, one thing's for sure, you can't fake those punches.
Oh no, the dude was unconscious. They even said he flatlined.
Yeah,
they said he was choking on his teeth, man.
Right. So has this guy been arrested?
As far as I know, they're investigating the situation. Because remember something, dude, it's wrestling, right? It's wrestling. So, you don't know. Like, I guess they can't go running around arresting people in wrestling. They have to make sure that it wasn't, a work for attention. You don't want to go arrest this guy. And then all of a sudden the guy that was assaulted turns around and goes, oh, no, that was all part of it. And blah, 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 blah. Okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
I do know a lot of people donated to this guy. So if it is a work, it's not a work, man. I do.
They're taking donations. I would say, no, it's not a work.
I mean, where does a guy lose control like that in a fake wrestling match? Well, are you that mad over the beer can thing? We'll talk about Mark Henry, but Mark Henry was like, you don't hit a real fighter in the head with a beer can. I'm like, what?
First of all, he thought he was a worker. You heard the other guy going, dude, he's not a worker. You know what I mean? So did he really, clock him super hard with the beer can, or was that a wrestling clock with a beer can?
Okay, so say he clocked him real hard with the beer can, right? He thought he was a wrestler.
Either way, it shows poor judgment on who brought this put this animal, into the picture. Don't you know? You can't. I don't understand people's ability to judge character. Why would you? Wouldn't you know? I know I would know. I'm sorry, Mike. You know I have a great read on people. You know I do. I would be like, don't bring this guy in. He's a fucking lunatic. He doesn't get it. You can see that the guy doesn't get it. He was involved in wrestling. He's got no clue what it is.
All right, but let me ask you this: did you see when he picks up the guy? Right,
Yeah,
the guy is giving him the body. He's giving him his body. Yes, it's not like he could have picked him up on his own. So he's giving him his body. So at what point do you decide to go, okay, since this guy knows we're supposed to be in this together, I'm just going to really unload on him?
Well, he trusted him, and he should have realized right from the beer can thing that this guy doesn't belong here. You know, all the wrestlers that are saying, oh, you shouldn't hit a real fighter with a beer can. Look, if he was brought in to work and then he decides he's not going to work, then that's a judgment of character. You got to know who you're bringing in. So the second he got clocked with that, I wouldn't have worked with him the rest of that program. Why did you even continue? If you had something prearranged, why would you even do it after that? Look at that reaction.
Well, I don't. The guy was out contact. You saw the other wrestlers come to his aid, right? I mean, thank God for that other guy jumping in. You know, I'm sorry I don't have all the names, but I mean, what the hell?
I'm talking about the beer can. Did I see cocaine in there, by the way? Was that cocaine in there?
I don't know. I'd have to look.
Could have sworn I saw cocaine in there.
Maybe.
I'm being serious. No, I'm going back to the beer can incident. You've got to know that, number one, this guy is a loose cannon. Number two, he doesn't get it. He doesn't even understand what wrestling's all about. And he's locked into some imaginary la-la land where my dad is Rampage Jackson and I'm here to fuck people up. Yo, no good. You don't bring him in. This never would have happened if I'm running it. The end. I don't care what his name is. And you know what? What's his name? His father's name. Once again, here we go again with whether it's wrestling, whether it's boxing, whether it's, rest on your own fucking laurels. Okay? Rest on your own fucking laurels, all right? I don't care who you're cousins with or who you were, whatever you were with in the past with somebody. Rest on your own fucking laurels. So them bringing this guy in just because he's the son of, big fucking deal. And he's a loose cannon. You gotta fucking know. I mean, I don't think it would have happened with me on running a promotion. I would be like, no, can't you tell? I'd be telling you, Mike.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think this guy deserves to go to jail?
Can I hear more details before I make decisions like that?
I will have more. I will give you. We'll get a full vote on Thursday to discuss this, right? And I'll
tell you what. I don't think that. I think already, because I'm such a pessimist / realist, I already think he's not in jail because of who his father is. That's what I think.
Really?
Right away.
You think his father has that sort of clout?
No, I think his father has cash though to be able to keep him out of jail for the next.
Well, the guy was an MMA fighter, right? So I think he got suspended. I think he got suspended.
Still a fucking name, and I'm sure he could find.
No, I'm talking about the father, the son, the guy that was inflicting that harm, right?
Right.
He is an MMA fighter, and then I'll ask you this, Jimmy. Do you think that when you're a boxer like a Mike Tyson, or you're an MMA fighter like this guy, or even his father, do you think they shouldn't get involved in choreographed wrestling because they can't turn it off?
Well, Mike Tyson worked just fine in the wrestling circles.
Yeah, but he wasn't fighting anybody, right? He was kind of.
Well, he also
Vince had him under wraps, yeah.
But Mike is a fan of wrestling. We all know that. Mike was a fan of professional wrestling when he was busy being Mike Tyson. He loves professional wrestling. He understands it. That's why Tyson was a good grab, for so many different reasons. I mean, as nutty as Mike Tyson was then, and he seems a lot better nowadays, but he's still nutty. But you know that he loves wrestling and he gets it. And that's why Mike Tyson worked out so well, because he knows it, he gets it, he respects it. You can see that this kid doesn't know wrestling, doesn't respect it, wants to be like, hey, it's all about me. You don't bring that in. And as to whether or not he goes to jail, I guess the police are going to have to continue their investigation.
How about you personally, when you see something like this, how does that affect you?
It doesn't affect me. Well, why would it affect me? I don't see how it would affect me.
Well, because you look at society and then you see a defenseless guy who's giving your body.
Goes back to the promoter. I'm sorry. It doesn't affect me. I think it's a bad look for wrestling, but it goes back to the promoter. You got to know who you're hiring. I wouldn't have brought him in. And I certainly wouldn't have continued the program after the beer can incident. You do not. Whatever you had planned with him, it's obvious he has no clue.
All right. Well, here's our guest, man. Special
Yeah.
guest. Can you hear us out there, Mr. Kross?
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us. We really do appreciate it.
of course, man.
So, first of all, I want to say, how's your book doing? Life is Fighting. I got my own. I'm in the middle of reading it. How are the sales right now?
Really good. We were over 20,000 copies just in the national numbers on pre-sales. I haven't recently gotten the new figures in, but the publisher's pretty happy. They offered me a contract for the next book without even wanting to see the the second book. So I think it's a good problem to have, but the demand of how much it's being purchased is being difficult for them to keep up with in terms of printing new ones. So it's good.
Well, congratulations. Look, you know what? Again, I'm not asking about the numbers, but we talk about records and downloads. And remember, you're younger than us, but back in the day, artists got a lot more money for their records. Now downloads, they get less. Is it like that in the book world, or is the money A-okay?
Comparatively, I'm not sure, records to books, but I got a very good deal when I was speaking with my publisher. I've been happy with everything that's happened with them, 100%.
Well, congratulations. All right, well, we've got short time with you, so welcome to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh. Just so you know, me and Jimmy snuck out of work to get this one in with you, so let's have at it while we got him. Jimmy, go ahead, buddy.
Real quick, wait now, hold on. Am I calling him Killer? Am I calling him? He's always going to be Killer to me. So to me, he's Killer Kross. He'll always be that to me. You find the timing ironic with the release of the book, and I know you can't talk about what's going on with WWE, but is the timing ironic here with the release of the book?
It's pretty terrible. Pretty terrible. Yeah, not exactly how I envisioned what was going to be happening when the book got released, but the irony of it, and a lot of people have actually brought this up to me, it's at the Comic Cons that I've been at, the horror conventions, is I kind of foreshadowed in the book how my mentality on navigating through life in terms of maintaining morals and principles over money was going to dictate where I'm at right now. I don't know how far you guys are into the book, but I mean, there's a price to pay for how much money you want to make in life, and I've always put my principles before all of that, and I will continue to do so until I am no longer here. So that's the best way I can put it.
I'm just going to assume, Mike, that he's tight with CM Punk.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Morals over money, although Punk is back home, obviously, nowadays.
Well, at least on my end, as being an older statesman, I'll say, thank God there's some morals left in society then.
Yes.
Right? Because there's few and far between. So kudos to you, man.
Yeah. Well, I know it's what drove Punk all those years ago, but never mind Punk. Let's ask you about the martial arts. Can you fill the folks in on your martial arts in the past? In a sport where, there are far less legitimate tough guys, but you are one of them. Can you tell us about the martial arts?
Sure. So I grew up on my dad's side, at least, like 6 uncles and an aunt all married to kids, and they all knew how to fight. And some of my uncles were more about boxing and wrestling than the rest of them. But I grew up in like a sports combat culture in my family. Grew up on a lot of action movies from the late 80s. So you see how all of that is glorified. You want to learn how to do it. And I studied all different types of martial arts when I was younger, but the ones I really gravitated to that I felt were most practical were boxing, catch wrestling. I had a really good Kyokushin teacher, which is essentially nowadays just freestyle kickboxing. It's a type of karate, not Shotokan with the American flag pants at Rex Kwon Do. Kyokushin, there was a founder in that martial art. His name was Maso Yama. He was a Japanese fellow. He did a public demonstration a couple times where he punched a bull in the head and killed the bull. The driving power of the punching from karate was coming from the ground up, very much like Western boxing, where they were teaching to throw with the hip, where the elbow was really tight to the hip, and you'd release as you're driving with the rotation and lock out on the tail end of it. That form of karate was way ahead of the rest of it, in my opinion. Muay Thai, and obviously, of course, I can't go without saying jiu-jitsu. Just put some time in last night, 3rd-degree brown belt. And that's my go-to now. I really enjoyed that the most. I always learn something new every time I'm on the mats with that. So,
Real quick, Mike. I got to throw this in. Bruce Lee versus Andre the Giant in a shoot fight. Who wins? We talk about this all the time. Who wins?
Whoever has the better game plan.
Ah, so Bruce has a chance. Bruce has a chance. Interesting. Very good. Go ahead, Mikey.
So a little bit off subject. You know what's going on, that independent show this weekend with the MMA thing. So being a true martial arts guy, what was your feeling when you saw that and someone taking advantage when you guys are all supposed to be trusting each other, right? I mean, you being a legitimate tough guy, and clearly one guy's an MMA guy, probably a little more tougher than the independent wrestler guy, I assume. What were your thoughts about that? What kind of feelings did you have about that?
Well, I want to say I don't know any of these people. I've never met them before. I know of them from the videos and obviously everything going around the news feeds. I think it's a really, really, really sad situation, actually, for everybody involved. And I'm still waiting to hear the entire story of what actually happened besides what we've all obviously seen. Obviously, it was really horrific to see. It should have never happened. But I really want to know what, like, how we got there. Because I don't think the whole story is out yet. I wish it never happened. And I kind of wish I didn't even visually watch it because it was very difficult to watch.
If someone tried to take advantage of you like that, would you be able to recover out of that? Or you, even regardless with your skill set, you would have been stuck in the same position as the other wrestler?
I would immediately put them unconscious without even a second thought. For my safety and the safety of somebody else in the ring, that's how I would deal with that situation. And that's how most of us, I mean, depending how you're trained, you know, you try to do that. But again, like, I don't want to say what I would have done in that situation. It's the whole thing. I just wish I never even watched it. I wish I heard from somebody about what happened and I visually didn't even watch it. It was just a horrible situation. I want to know what the full story is, though, because there's a chance that that kid may have been misled into something and thinking, I don't know. I almost don't even want to even say too
No,
much.
I agree with you. We got to hear the full story. You know, things can happen, and let's find out. And hopefully, it's not the case what we're all looking at. Because if it is, then it's like,
I'm glad the guy's alive. I saw this morning that he's alive. Thank God.